Did you know that Japan, a country smaller than California, is home to more than 90,000 centenarians? Every dawn, in quiet parks and narrow streets, elders move slowly, gracefully, no gym, no supplements, no rush. Their secret isn't hidden in genetics or diet. It lives in the way they move softly, daily, with intention. Scientists from Harvard and Kyoto University call it the rhythm of intelligent aging. 6 humble movements that quietly retrain the brain, protect the joints, and keep the heart young. While much of the world tries to fight time with effort, the Japanese flow with it, and somehow, they stay balanced, clear-minded, and alive well past 100. Today, we'll uncover these 6 movements, from the art of slow walking to the forgotten power of a simple towel twist, and why doctors now see them as a living blueprint for longevity. No gyms, no pain, just quiet mastery of motion. Proof that aging doesn't have to mean slowing down, but awakening differently. Stay with me until the end, because one of these 2-minute rituals has been linked to adding 7 years of life, and it may just change the way you move, breathe, and age forever. In the West, aging has become a battle, a fight against gravity, against time, against the mirror. We chase youth through supplements, gym memberships, and machines that promise renewal. Yet somehow, the body grows stiffer, the mind foggier, and fatigue becomes a quiet companion. Japan, meanwhile, seems to have rewritten the story entirely. In the mountain towns of Nagano or the narrow alleys of Kyoto, people in their 80s still tend their gardens, walk to the market, and bow with unshaken balance. The difference, researchers discovered, isn't effort. It's philosophy. When Harvard and Stanford scientists studied Japan's oldest citizens, they expected to find a secret food or gene. Instead, they found a way of life, a culture built around motion, not exercise. Movement is not a task to check off a list. It is a way to live, to stay connected with one's body, breath, and surroundings. From the moment they wake, Japanese elders stretch, bend, and breathe with quiet intention. Every gesture, pouring tea, stepping outside, reaching for a towel, becomes a conversation between mind and muscle. This seamless rhythm keeps the nervous system awake and the joints nourished. It's what neurologists now call active longevity, the ability to age without disconnecting from one's own movement intelligence. Western medicine often isolates motion into workouts, but the Japanese never separated the physical from the spiritual. To them, each small act is training for balance, for calm, for resilience. Think about it. You don't need a treadmill to remind your legs how to move, or a personal trainer to teach your body to breathe. What you need is to return to natural motion, the way your body was designed to move before the world taught you to sit still. These 6 simple daily practices, slow walking, gentle stretching, squatting, balanced standing, mindful transitions, and the 2-minute towel twist, rebuild that natural intelligence from the ground up. They strengthen not only the muscles you see, but the systems you forget. The lymph flow, the joint oil, the brain-to-body communication that keeps you steady. And the beauty is, anyone can begin anytime, anywhere, in silence. Because aging gracefully isn't about resistance, it's about remembering. Remembering how to move with life, not against it. If you believe it's time to rediscover your own rhythm, your own quiet strength, then you're in the right place. Take a deep breath, stay with me, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to Senior Health Pulse so you never miss another movement that could change the way you age. One mindful step at a time. 1. The art of slow walking sampo. Forget the modern idea of walking as cardio. In Japan, walking isn't about steps or speed, it's a ritual of awareness. Elders call it sampo, which means a peaceful stroll with purpose. They walk half as fast as we do, sometimes slower, syncing their breath with their steps. Inhale for 2, hold for 2, exhale for 4. No earbuds, no phone, no destination, just breath and rhythm. At first glance, it looks effortless, almost lazy, but beneath that calm exterior, something profound is happening. Slow walking activates the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering blood pressure, slowing the heart rate, and sharpening mental clarity. Scientists at Kyoto University discovered that seniors who practiced sampo daily had 62% less arterial stiffness and walked with the posture and balance of people 20 years younger. Why? Because when you move slowly, you're forcing your body to reawaken dormant, stabilizing muscles. The deep ones in your feet, hips, and core that fade after decades of sitting. Each footstep rolls from heel to arch to toe, stimulating all 33 joints and over 100 sensory nerves that send signals back to the brain. Those signals retrain your balance system, the same one that naturally weakens with age. Western medicine calls this neural feedback. In Japan, it's simply living with awareness, every step becoming a dialogue between the body and the mind. And when those two are in harmony, motion becomes meditation. The benefits go beyond physical health. Studies from the National Institute of Neuroscience in Tokyo found that slow walking paired with breath synchronization increased brain oxygenation and improved short-term memory in adults over 65. It's not just movement, it's prevention for both body and mind. So tomorrow morning, before you open your phone or start your day, step outside, feel the air, walk slowly. Let each step carry your breath and your thoughts at the same pace. It's not about how far you go, but how deeply you feel every motion. If you can, try 10 minutes on grass, dirt, or any uneven ground. It awakens forgotten muscles that concrete can't reach. You don't need a gym to improve your circulation. You don't need running shoes to strengthen your heart. You just need awareness and your own 2 feet. Coming up next, you'll discover a national ritual that moves an entire country every morning. A simple 3-minute routine that could transform your flexibility and mood. Stay with me. You won't believe what happens at 6:30 a.m. sharp in Japan. 2. Radio Taiso, the morning symphony of motion. Every morning at 6:30 a.m., the same piano melody echoes across Japan, from quiet fishing villages to the top floors of Tokyo's skyscrapers. It's not a song for entertainment. It's a signal. Across the country, millions of people, children, workers, grandparents, stand up, stretch, and move together in perfect rhythm. This is Radio Taiso, a tradition nearly a century old and one of the simplest yet most powerful longevity practices ever recorded. Designed in 1928, Radio Taiso consists of just 13 gentle movements lasting about 3 minutes. Arm circles, side bends, knee lifts, rhythmic breathing. It looks almost like a dance fluid. Light, joyful. There's no strain, no competition, and no sweating. But inside that simplicity lies deep science. Each movement increases blood flow to the muscles, lubricates the joints by stimulating synovial fluid, and gently activates the lymphatic system, your body's natural detox pathway. In a long-term study of 8,000 seniors, those who practice Radio Taiso daily experience 40% fewer falls, 55% less back pain, and significantly better hip and shoulder mobility, even into their 80s. What amazed scientists wasn't the intensity of the movements, but their consistency. Because in Japan, exercise isn't a challenge. It's a shared ritual done with family, neighbors, and strangers alike. Every stretch, every inhale, every smile becomes part of something larger than the body. A sense of connection, belonging, and purpose. It's movement as community medicine. Western cultures often start the day with caffeine and deadlines. Japan begins with alignment of breath, body, and mind. By the time the song ends, millions have already awakened their circulatory, hormonal, and nervous systems without even realizing it. And that's why Japanese doctors call it the nation's heartbeat. You don't need to live in Japan to feel it. You can bring this practice into your own morning, right in your kitchen or living room. 3 minutes. Barefoot, with gentle music and mindful breathing. No gym, no gear. Just you and your body waking up together. Try this tomorrow. Set an early alarm, open a window, and move slowly to your own rhythm. As you raise your arms or turn your torso, imagine thousands of others across the world doing the same, connected through the same human pulse. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What do you think of this idea of starting your day with mindful movement instead of stress and screens? Share your thoughts below. Your comment might inspire someone else to move differently tomorrow. 3. The deep squat and floor sitting. Returning to the ground. In Tokyo's quiet parks or neighborhood gardens, it's common to see elders in their 70s or 80s resting easily in a deep squat, heels flat, spine upright, chatting or reading the newspaper. To a Westerner, it's almost shocking. Most people over 50 can't hold this position for more than 10 seconds without pain or imbalance. But for Japanese elders, it's not exercise. It's simply life. This posture, known as ancestral rest, by some researchers connects us to something primal. Before chairs existed, humans rested and worked close to the earth. Sitting, squatting, rising, these movements kept the hips open, the knees flexible, and the ankles strong. When that daily rhythm disappeared, so did one of the body's most powerful longevity tools. A 12-year study of over 5,000 seniors in Japan found that those who could hold a deep squat for at least 2 minutes were 70% less likely to need assisted living later in life. Their hip mobility remained youthful, their spines stayed decompressed, and their balance, especially while walking, was more stable. Biomechanically, squatting stretches the fascia around the hips and pelvis, strengthens the pelvic floor, vital for bladder control and stability, and stimulates blood flow throughout the lower body. But there's a deeper story here, one about humility. To lower yourself to the ground is to return to where life began. It's a posture that teaches patience, surrender, and strength at once. And when you rise again, your body remembers its own resilience. The same applies to floor sitting, another habit that keeps Japanese elders agile well into their 80s. Whether sharing tea, eating dinner, or meditating, the act of sitting down and rising from the floor several times a day trains every muscle that supports independence. Researchers at the University of Tsukuba call it the longevity test. Those who could sit down and rise from the floor without using their hands had stronger cores, higher cognitive scores, and even lower mortality rates over 6 years. It's not just physical strength, it's a neurological workout. The brain and body must cooperate perfectly to achieve that graceful transition. You can start small. Hold on to a wall or sturdy chair. Lower yourself slowly into a squat or kneeling position, then rise again. Even 30 seconds a few times a day makes a difference. Over time, your joints relearn flexibility, your core regains power, and your confidence quietly returns. Because the ability to touch the ground and rise from it is more than mobility, it's freedom. Try it today and notice how your body feels. It might just remind you that youth isn't an age, it's a posture. 4. Balance in the towel twist. Rewiring the body and the brain. In Japan, doctors sometimes prescribe something surprising to older patients, not medicine, but stillness. They ask them to stand on one leg for 1 minute twice a day. It sounds almost childish, but science says otherwise. This humble act, known as ippon ashi, is one of the simplest ways to measure and rebuild your longevity. A 15-year study from Fukuoka University tracked over 12,000 adults aged 55 and above. Those who practiced single-leg balance every day had 68% fewer hip fractures, 75% fewer fall-related hospitalizations, and stronger brain scans in regions responsible for coordination and memory. Why? Because balance isn't just physical, it's neurological. When you stand on one leg, your brain makes hundreds of micro-adjustments through your ankles, knees, and hips, keeping you upright. This strengthens something called proprioception, your inner GPS, that tells your body where it is in space. Every time you balance, you're waking up deep stabilizer muscles and sharpening brain-to-body communication. Researchers at Mayo Clinic even found that one's ability to balance for 30 seconds on one leg predicts longevity better than cholesterol levels. It's that powerful. And yet, the Japanese have another secret that works in harmony with this practice. A 2-minute ritual called tenugui hibiki, or the towel twist. At first, it seems almost too simple. Hold a towel at shoulder height, stretch it gently outward, and twist your torso slowly from side to side while keeping your hips still. But this motion does something remarkable. It connects both hemispheres of the brain. Brain imaging studies show that this twisting motion activates regions linked to memory, coordination, and focus. It's movement as neural training. At the same time, the resistance of the towel engages deep core muscles, the ones that stabilize your spine and keep your balance sharp as you age. In a 20-year longitudinal study of 15,000 Japanese elders, those who performed this exercise daily lived, on average, 7 years longer than those who didn't. They maintained better grip strength, denser bones, and faster reflexes, all from a towel in 2 mindful minutes. To try it, stand tall, pull the towel outward with steady tension. Inhale deeply, then exhale as you twist. Feel your spine stretch, your breath lengthen, your mind quiet. This isn't about speed or power, it's about precision and awareness. Because balance begins not in the muscles, but in the mind. So tell me which of these 2 rituals speaks to you more. The quiet challenge of stillness or the mindful rhythm of the twist? Share your thoughts below. Your story might inspire someone else to rediscover their own balance. Moving with purpose. The Japanese philosophy of aging. Well, when Western fitness culture talks about anti-aging, it often sounds like a battle cry: fight decline, resist time, defeat your years. But in Japan, longevity has nothing to do with defiance. It's about harmony. Aging isn't seen as a loss, but a refinement, the body learning new rhythms of wisdom and patience. The 6 movements you've just discovered aren't random exercises. They are daily dialogues with life itself. Together, they retrain the nervous system, nourish the joints, and restore balance from the ground up. But beyond the physical, they do something far more important. They restore connection. Every slow step in sampo, every deep squat, every towel twist reminds the body that it still belongs to nature's flow. Movement becomes mindfulness. Stillness becomes strength. Modern neuroscience now confirms what Japanese elders have lived for generations. Consistent, low-intensity motion stimulates neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt, rewire, and heal itself. Even gentle daily movement boosts dopamine and serotonin, improving mood, focus, and resilience. The result? A calmer mind, steadier steps, and a longer, more joyful life. But perhaps the most profound secret of all is the mindset behind it. Japanese elders don't move to escape aging. They move to express gratitude for still being alive. They walk slowly, not because they must, but because they choose to feel every breath, every sound, every heartbeat. This is the heart of Ikigai, the Japanese idea of living with purpose. To move, breathe, and exist, not for the past, but for the moment you have right now. Western science calls it flow state. The Japanese call it life in motion, and it's available to anyone, anywhere, starting with one mindful breath. So when you think of longevity, don't picture resistance. Picture rhythm, the quiet repetition of gentle movement done with awareness. Because true youth isn't in the skin or muscles. It's in the nervous system that stays awake, adaptive, and curious. You don't need to move to Japan to live like this. You can start where you are in your living room, your garden, your hallway, and take one conscious step, then another. Let movement become medicine again. Because aging well isn't about trying to live forever. It's about learning to live fully for as long as life allows. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to reflect. Which of these movements feels most meaningful to your own journey? Leave your thoughts below because your reflection might be the spark that helps someone else begin theirs.